Hello lovelies. It's been quite a while since you've had a button, so what could be better than hearts? I'm using perla cotton in one strand. Come up through the fabric and the buttonhole at the bottom, and then we're going to make an arrow shape. So that's from bottom to top, then right to bottom and left to bottom, or vice versa, whichever. See, it's an arrow. And I'm going to do that once more. This gives a little bit more coverage to the button. Now we're going to do a bullion knot. Bring your needle up through the buttonhole and use your thumb to hold the thread as a loop. Can you see the loop? Pull your needle through the buttonhole on the right, but don't go all the way through, and bring your needle back up through the buttonhole that you originally came up through. And we're going to take the thread that is next to the needle and we're going to wrap that around our needle. And I did this 12 times. So we're going to do 12 wraps around the needle. You'll need to vary how many wraps you do depending on how many strands of thread you're going to use, how big your buttonholes are, but I went for 12. You're going to hold that wrap between your forefinger and your thumb, not too tightly, just enough to hold it in place, and pull the needle through, keeping hold of that wrap. And you're going to pull that slightly, and then you're going to go down into the buttonhole on the far right. Pull your needle through, and then bring your needle up through the fabric in the top buttonhole. Pull this all the way through, and then we're going to go from the underneath, we're going to go under the bullion knot. You see, under the bullion knot, not down into the fabric. And we're going to pull this slightly tight, not too tight. You don't want to squish it down too much. Then go back down through the buttonhole. Now we're going to do another bullion knot. This bullion knot is going from left to right again, but this has only got 10 wraps. Pull it through and you will be left with like a shell shape. This is actually going to make a lovely shell. Look at that. Anyway, you're then going to bring your needle up through the top buttonhole again. And we are going to then go over the top of the bullion knots. Okay. And we're going to go under the bullion knots. And we're going to pull that slightly tight, not too tight, just enough to create that dip in the top of our heart. And then we're going to take that down to the bottom buttonhole. So pull it nice and sort of tightly down to the bottom. Here I am just sort of tweaking it a little. So down to the bottom, pull that nice and tight. You'll be left with your little divot in the top of your heart. And then we're going to do 2 straight stitches from the bottom to the left and the bottom to the right. And there's your heart. You can try it with 2 strands. Try it with normal DMC floss. It gives you different results. But happy stitching.